Manchester City move for Rodri. Spurs have actually signed some players. Brazil defeat arch rivals Argentina. There's semi-final heartbreak for England. We've got a roundup of all the day's transfer rumours and, of course, this week's great debate. That and more coming up in the next few minutes as I am your host, Matt Folick. You are the Onefootballers, and this is the Daily News. So first off, onto Manchester City, who look like they're heading on a spending spree. Today they are set to activate the release clause of Atletico Madrid midfielder Rodri. This will be around £63 million, making him their most expensive signing ever, ahead of Aymeric Laporte. The reason they'll be have to pay the release clause is because Atletico Madrid, and rightly so, don't want to let him go. Last summer, Diego Simeone bought the midfielder in for around £18 million from Villarreal, and straight away he became a pivotal part of the team. So much so that he looks like he's going to be the successor to Sergio Busquets in the national team as well. It's no secret that Pep Guardiola's been looking for a replacement for Fernandinho, and it looks like the Spaniard could fit the bill excellently. Simeone had said that he didn't want to let him go, but last week, after unveiling Marcus Llorente, the signing from Real Madrid, he held up his shirt with his name and the number 14. This, of course, was Rodri's number last season, and so the fact that someone else has got his number pretty much tells you that he's going to be on his way out of the club. Alongside this, it's not going to stop there for Manchester City. They're also said to be interested in Harry Maguire, although the £90 million price tag is a bit too much, Nathan Ake from Bournemouth, and João Cancelo, the Juventus right-back. It's been thought that Guardiola wants to get most of these transfers sorted before the club head on their pre-season tour of China. Alongside this, Sporting youngster Felix Carrera, who's yet to make an appearance for the first team, has also signed with Manchester City for £3 million, but will probably be loaned out for the next few seasons as he continues his development. And next up to Tottenham, who after 18 months of transfer window wilderness have finally signed some players. It's like London buses, you wait all day for one and then two come along at once. Earlier yesterday, Spurs announced the signing of Jack Clarke from Leeds, immediately sending him back on loan to the Championship club. But later in the day was the big news, a transfer record for the North London club. £54 million, the potential £10 million in add-ons, was shelled out to Lyon for their midfielder Tanguy Ndombele. The 22-year-old has only been permanently at Lyon for one season, having played on loan for them the year before, and has been brilliant in 96 appearances for the French club. He had some good games this season in Champions League against Manchester City and Barcelona, so he's more than ready to mix it with the best. This is seen as the long overdue replacement for Moussa Dembele, who Spurs sold to China in January. He will link up in the centre of midfield with fellow French international player Moussa Sissoko, and with Harry Winkstone in there as well. The centre of the park is looking an exciting place to be if you're in Tottenham's side, that is. And wait for the transfer news for a minute, and to the Copa America, where Lionel Messi and Argentina are out of the competition. It's Brazil who go through to the final with a 2-0 victory. Goals from Premier League-based Gabriel Jesus and Roberto Firmino were enough to see off Messi's side, but he says that he will be continuing with the side. Of course, he still only has that 2008 Olympic medal with the national team, which is pretty poor compared to everything he's done at Barcelona. Now, for all you Messi fans out there, don't go crazy that he hasn't done so well with the national team. You don't have to make up loads of excuses. These things happen. You can't win every single game, and Brazil are a pretty good team. On the flip side, though, this doesn't mean that the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo and Virgil van Dijk are suddenly far more favourite to win the Ballon d'Or this year. There is still a lot of football to be played. Messi, as I mentioned, did say that he will stay on as the next Copa America is actually next year. A reformatting of the competition means that it will now be every 4 years, in line with the European Championships in Europe. So next year, as Argentina and Colombia host the finals, Messi will finally be hoping to get that major trophy with the national side. As for Brazil, they'll be facing either Chile or Peru, who play in the other semi-final, as Chile are looking to make it 3 Copa America victories in a row. And next up to some more semi-final heartbreak, and of course, England went out of the World Cup in the most English way possible. At the semi-final stage, having missed a penalty. Steph Fulton's 84th minute spot kick was saved by the American keeper, meaning that they managed to hold on to a 2-1 lead and see themselves through to yet another final. It's here they'll face Netherlands or Sweden, who play in the other semi-final. For Phil Neville's side, it was a pretty good competition. They put in some stellar performances and scored a lot of goals, but it just wasn't to be in the end. Ellen White was so close to grabbing her second of the evening and the equaliser, but it was ruled out for offside after a quick check with VAR. These are the margins, but in the end they did get it correct, only just. Regardless of the performance of the England's women's team or any other team, it has been a brilliant tournament to watch and has more than done justice for the women's game. The final will be on Sunday and it will definitely be an exciting affair. So next up to a quick roundup of the transfer news, where Manchester United are interested in Spain's under-21 midfielder Dani Olmo and have made a £35 million bid. Elsewhere, Arsenal have completed the signing of teenager Gabriel Martinelli. Aston Villa are interested in Egypt's Mahmoud Trezeguet, and lastly but not least, Bayern Munich have bid around £63 million million for Ousmane Dembele, which has been swiftly rejected by Barcelona. So finally, we come to this week's great debate. That's every single Wednesday here on OneFootball, where our OneFootball newsroom set us a question which they want to know the answer to, from you guys especially. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. The question is, what is the worst ever summer signing of all time? There are so many to choose from. You guys can go through the history books and look and find which one you think is the worst. For me, it's got to be Jonathan Woodgate. Back in 2004, he left Newcastle, signed for Real Madrid, spent the whole of the first season injured, and then when he finally made his debut a year later, he scored an own goal and then got sent off. Suffice to say, a year later, he was back in the Northeast with Middlesbrough on loan. He was never really seen at that level ever again, and will probably, for me, go down as the worst signing of all time, period. So there you have it. Let me know your thoughts on all of today's daily news. Will Manchester City actually make any of those signings, and will they be a real Champions League contender if they manage to do so? Of course, let me know your thoughts down below. Smash the like button whilst you're down there and click here or here to check out all of the other videos we've got going on OneFootball. But until next time, I will see you guys later.